Okay, y'all. So a lot of people still ask me to this day how I purchased a home at 20. I have a 5 bedroom, 3.5 bath home. And I feel like a lot of younger people, they don't really have the guidance. They don't really know too much about purchasing a home, which is why I'm here to make this video to help out not only my age group, but older people, really anybody who needs help. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself first and what made me even want to buy a home. So I was living in my apartment. 2018 is when I first moved in. Nothing wrong, got my apartment, loved it. But then I kicked it up a notch and started doing hair. As you see, I got my shirt on, locked in with Roz. And my apartment, the way it was set up, like my living room and my kitchen was a little bit connected. Like there was no separation in between the two. So people could see what was going on in my house when I was doing their hair. Which nothing is wrong with that, but I wanted just a little bit of privacy, you feel me? So I'm like, I got to get out of here. I have to move. I got to get out. So what I did first was I created a game plan. I'm like, I want to move. I know where I want to go. I just don't know exactly what type of house I want. So I'm going to start saving. So I opened me up a savings account. Y'all, it was kind of hard for me to stop spending money and actually put it into the account and not touch it. But when you have a goal that you want to reach, trust me, you'll do what it takes to get there. So I opened up my savings account. I would put the money that I was making from hair, because I had a job too. I was a manager. So I would put my money from hair into my savings account. And then my job money would be into my regular account. So after a while, it just, starts stacking up, especially if you didn't touch it. So while I was saving, then I started to figure out, okay, what area do I want to live in? What neighborhood do I want to live in? Once I figured it out, I started to ride around in the neighborhood, because a lot of people, what they do is they go online and they start to search up houses online, which, don't get me wrong, you can do that. But if you want to actually find what you really, really want, you have to start riding around in neighborhoods. You got to look at the houses, look at the people around it, and see what you want. So I started riding around. I'm like, okay, I want to stay in, this area here, this side of town. This is where I want to stay. So I got my savings, and then I figured out where I wanted to stay, started riding and looking around. So once my account reached what I wanted it to, I'm like, all right, let's kick it up a notch. So what I advise you to do, you have to find a realtor. It's harder to do it all by yourself. But the realtor, she comes in and she just kicks it up for you. So let me tell you what I did. I found a realtor, y'all, but be careful with that. You have to make sure the realtor that you find is they know what they're doing, because the first realtor that I went to, I kind of ran into a couple of bumps in the road. She pulled my credit, and my credit wasn't where it needed to be just yet. I think I need a couple more points to get what I wanted. So she didn't check that. She pulled my credit already, and I had a hard pull on my credit report, and I wasn't even qualified to get a house just yet. So basically I had a pull on my credit report that I did not need. What she should have told me was to wait and get my credit up a little bit longer and then come back out and reach her. But lesson learned. I went through that, and I'm like, okay, I don't think this is quite right. I'm gonna take it back a notch. You have to, when finding a house, you gotta take your time. You can't rush into it. This is an investment. It's your investment. So I take it back a notch. I'm like, I don't know if this is right. I'm gonna do some more research. So while I'm still researching, I'm just, stacking the money in my savings, still not spending it. Then I get on Facebook, and I'm like, Facebook realtor. And y'all, so many realtors popped up, but this one realtor, I actually think I reached out to the mortgage loaner first, and they are a team. So I reached out to her, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll be happy to help you. Her name is Shakeita Price. Shout out to Shakeita girl. But I reached out to her, and she's like, yes, but you have to start with the realtor first. I'm just the mortgage loaner. So she gave me Xavier name. Y'all, when I tell y'all, when I reached out to Xavier, she was on it. She's like, girl, what you want, what you looking for, what you got, So I'm like, okay, I want a house like my mom. Yeah, my mom, she got a beautiful house. It's, it's kind of similar to what I have now. She's my role model. So of course I wanted a house like hers. So I told Xavier, listen, I want a house like my mom. I want to live in a nice neighborhood. I want my house to be spacey. I want to have space. So we met up. She took me to view about 2 to 3 different houses. And the thing is, y'all, don't jump to the first house that you see. You actually have to get in and look around, because the first house that I went in, it was cute. Every house she showed me was an extremely nice house. It was cute. So I'm like, I'm looking around, like, it's nice, but it just didn't feel like it was for me. It didn't grab my attention, because one thing that I for sure wanted in my house, I wanted the living room and the kitchen to be completely separate. I didn't want them to connect. I didn't want none of that. So some of the houses that she showed me, it wasn't as spacey as I wanted. So she showed me that house, and I'm like, I'll come back to it. So then we went to view another house. Y'all, the house was nice. It was big. It had a pool and everything. But the one thing that I didn't like about it is the room that I would have used for my hair room was upstairs. And everybody can walk upstairs. So like I said, when you're finding a house, you have to think about all of that. You can't just, this is nice, I'm gonna get it. Will you be able to walk up the stairs? Will you be able to keep this area how you want it? You have to think about all of those things. So I'm going through it like, can my clients get up here? Like, will I be able to do hair here? So I'm like, I'm gonna hold off on it, Xavier. And she's like, all right. So I think a couple of days went by and I thought about it. I'm like, Xavier, I want that house. So she's like, it's off the market now. Y'all, houses go, especially nowadays, like I think since 2021, the market for buying houses like really shot up. So she's like, I think that house is gone. So I'm like, ooh. So I got back on the internet. I kept looking. I'm still riding around looking. Y'all, I've been looking on the internet for days and days and days, and I did not see my house. But lo and behold, one day I got back online and I see my house. It was on, I'm like, hold up. This kind of nice. But right now I'm 22. When I purchased my house, I was 20. So like I said, I have a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath. And that's kind of spacey. I only got one kid. So that's kind of spacey for, a person with one kid. Like what do you really need all the rooms for? You feel me? But I need them. So I told her, I'm like, Xavier, I see this house online. I said, but do you think this will be too much for me? She's like, no. She's like, if you can afford it, which you can, let's go and get it. So y'all, Xavier was up here that next morning. The house already had like a list of viewers, because what happened was someone was under contract with the house, but I think something didn't go through with their contract, so it bounced back, which is why I was able to see it. But it did have other people in line to view the house. Y'all, Xavier, she came up here, she got on the ASAP, she got us in to be the first people to view the house. As soon as I walked into my house, I loved it, y'all. It was like when you walk into your home, you'll know it's for you because you'll feel it. When I walked into this house, it wasn't a feeling like with the other houses. Like I wasn't unsure, I wasn't like uncertain. And it's not because I just wanted a house, because I would have waited, but it felt like me, you feel me? So I'm like, I love it. I looked around, I did all my inspections, I did my research on the house, and I'm like, Xavier, I want that house. So, she put me in, we got the house, it took a couple of, I think, days or so. My entire journey altogether, y'all, only took me about 30 days to move. Now, it's not the same for everyone. Don't get me wrong. If it takes you a little longer, that's fine, because things do happen in the home industry. Like, maybe the inspectors have to come back and fix something so it can bump you back a couple of days. Or maybe the house, is something could be wrong. It could bump you back sometimes. So if you don't get your house within 30 days like I did, that's fine. But me, I was lucky. So, I did get my house within 30 days of asking and reaching out to Xavier. So like I said, she put me under contract, and I start, packing up my bags, y'all. As soon as I figured out the house was under contract, I'm packing up my bags. I'm getting ready to move out of my apartment. I'm like, Xavier, are you sure? Like, cause my house is extremely nice, y'all. So I was just very nervous and like shaky. I was like, Xavier, are you sure that I will get this house? Are you sure that this is for me? And she's like, girl, keep packing up those bags, because this is for you. So I'm like, great. So eventually, I moved into the house within 30 days. Now, let me tell you this. As a homeowner, you want to make sure, like, before you buy a house, they do have inspections. What I would tell you myself is to like inspect it yourself or have someone else come in, because once I moved into my house, even though I had inspections, I did have a couple of things that I had to fix up, which I think I've heard like a lot of people have had that issue, so it's okay, but you don't want to have to do that, so make sure that you have your roof checked, make sure that you have the plumbing checked, make sure that you check like under the sinks, make sure that they have everything wired correctly, because once you sign the papers, that's your house. So anything that happens, you have to fix that. So, just like I said, I wish that I would have had this guidance and someone to tell me exactly, you know, what to do or to guide me. Because, like, don't get me wrong, my mom was there, my family was there all the way, but sometimes you need people of your age range, or, you know, sometimes you need people of like you to, you know, sit down and tell you or show you or guide you the way, which is really why I'm making this video. Because like I said, when I bought my house, I was 20. I think I was the youngest person that she's ever sold a house to, which when they posted it, everyone was excited for me, everyone was happy. So I'll tell y'all a couple of things. You know, let's compare apartments versus houses. When I was in my apartment, a couple of things that I love about it is if something messes up, like your water or like your fridge, your landlord has to come fix that. Versus, like I said, when you're in a house, you have to fix that. But let's look on the bright side. When you're in a house, if you've been in an apartment and you've stayed downstairs before, y'all know them people be acting up upstairs. So when you're in your own house, you ain't gotta worry about that. You can go outside when you want, because I know some apartments, they got like curfews, y'all. Whatever, but you can go outside when you want to in your own house. You can like, oh y'all, let me say this before I forget. To my personal opinion, do what you want. Do not get a house with like homeowners and HOA and stuff like that. You know why? Because you can't do what you want. Like I said, if I want to go outside right now and paint my house a different color, I can. But if you have a house that's like a HOA house or, you know, something like that, you have to ask for permission first. So that's like one of the upsides of having my house and it not being HOA. I can do what I want with it. Like in an apartment, I couldn't even, y'all know I have a pole for exercise. I couldn't even put my pole up because you don't know what it's going to do to the ceiling. So that's a couple of the bright sides about having my house. It's just more freedom, but with more freedom comes more responsibility. Like I said, like I've had to fix a couple of things, but I don't mind, because this is what I wanted out of life. I got what I wanted, you know? So my advice to y'all is, I'm not going to say purchase a house for sure, because what's for you is what's for you, and what's not is what's not. And like, if you're the type of person who like to get up and move and you don't know where you want to stay, buying a house might not be for you right now. But if, like I said, especially with my age group, this is for everyone, but I'm really speaking to my people, because we don't have a lot of people who my age that are buying houses. Make sure you look into it. Make sure you really know what you want. Make sure this is what you want, and go out there and do it, y'all. Because buying a house is a great investment. By the time I'm like 40 or so, my house will be done paid off. If God say so, probably before then, y'all. But I think that buying a house is a really good thing, especially if you start off young. A lot of younger people, they don't even think about that. You know why? Because like I said, we don't have the resources. So I hope you take this video, send it. Even if you don't watch it, you see the caption, send it to someone. Send it to your cousin, your niece, your younger sibling, ages 16 and up, because it's never too early to get the knowledge that you need to, you know, set yourself up for a bright future. So I really hope that y'all learned a lot of information that y'all can watch this video and take from it, and, you know, use it to help you in life. And if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. Support my business, like I said, Locked In with Roz. And yeah, thank you.